If I have a black female surgeon, my first assumption will be this person had to meet lower standards because the school or the certifying board was so anxious to say we have a black female surgeon.
Would you trust these doctors with your life considering their college admission standards are lower?
Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Ndagre here. Thanks for clicking on this video. Oh my god, this video really made me laugh. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just funny and kind of sad actually that this is how these people think about us, because I mean, they do not think that we are actually smart beings. Like, they don't think black people are actually smart beings. And I also think being them and being in a position as palmed people that they are given positions because of how they look like, given opportunities and privilege literally because of who they are, they now think it's for everybody. It's for everyone. That's why they cannot believe it that a black being, a black person, can actually qualify to be a doctor in good terms, like literally go to school, study with knowledge, and learn how to be a doctor and care for people's lives. That's crazy that's how these people feel or think about black people. And I'm like, in my head, really, the way palm people love their lives, would they just randomly put black people in positions, especially positions of health, just for them to show inclusivity? Like, oh yeah, we have a black woman, a black man, a black doctor in this space, so we are being inclusive. Like, would they do that? Or they actually have to look for the best black people in the field to be qualified to get those positions? Doesn't that go or sink into the heads of these people, like this racist man who is saying he cannot handle it, like he can't feel safe going and actually being worked on with or by a black surgeon or a doctor? Make it make sense, guys. Listen to what people had to say about this, because I found it really ridiculous myself. Yeah, come back and let me know your thoughts on it.
If I have a black female surgeon, my first assumption will be this person had to meet lower standards because the school or the certifying board was so anxious to say we have a black female surgeon. And of course, it's unfair to the individual, but then the whole system is unfair. So should you be shocked that it produces unfair results? No. I mean, it's unfair.
This is completely incorrect. In order to become a board-certified surgeon, whether it's a general surgeon or a plastic surgeon like myself, we have to pass written board exams as well as oral exams. They don't give you preferential treatment or allow you to pass exams at a lower score based off of your gender or your skin color. And the truth is, you may have to work actually harder to become a board-certified surgeon if you're a female, or especially an African-American female. And this is because in order to be accepted into that program, you have to be ranked high on their list of desirable applicants. And they look at all sorts of factors, including your board scores, how hard you work, and how much personally they may connect with you. And the fact is that the program directors, the surgeons that make these lists of the most desirable candidates to become surgeons, are overwhelmingly male and white. So whether you have a good or a bad surgeon is not based off of their gender or their skin color.
First assumption will be this person had to meet lower standards.
Tell me that you're stupid without telling me that you're stupid. They had to meet what lower standards? What are you talking about? You know absolutely nothing. And you think that all black people are not intelligent. If she wasn't that intelligent, would she have passed medical school? Would she have passed her practical training to perform surgery on patients? The answer for that is no. Why don't you check your own level of intelligence before you come for someone?
Would you trust these doctors with your life considering their college admission standards are lower?
Whew. I don't know where to even start with the amount of ignorance that was in that last video that I stitched, but let's start with some facts. And studies show that in the United States, black women are 3 times as likely to die during childbirth when compared to white women, and infant mortality is higher for black children than any other race. Studies also show that when black mothers are taken care of by black doctors, infant mortality rates cut in half. Black doctors are needed. And everyone that is a doctor is qualified. You have to go through 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, and in medical school, you take step 1 and step 2, board exams that are standardized for everyone that's a medical student. Then you go into residency, which can last sometimes up to 7 years, depending on the specialty you go into. And that's not even to mention that even when you're a doctor, you still take exams to prove that you know your knowledge. It's a grueling process, and anyone that's a doctor has worked their butt off so that they can take care of patients, even patients like that person who are racist. What's incredible is we will care for you. We will give you the best care, and we'll do it with a smile, because we went into this field to help everyone. So if you're an underrepresented student thinking about going into medicine, do not let bigots like that lower your worth, because we need you now more than ever.
If I have a black female surgeon, my first assumption will be this person had to meet lower standards because...
That's just because you're racist and sexist. I mean, the data shows that if you're cared for by a female surgeon, you're more likely to have a better outcome. And the shortage of black physicians in our communities actually harms patient outcomes. And when there is a higher percentage of black physicians, then especially black patients have better outcomes. Remember, facts don't care about your feelings. And pushing this rhetoric that having a black female physician or any delineation of those identities is going to be harmful to our communities is only harmful to maybe your ego. Just say what it is. Because this whole anti-DEI nonsense is just a way to push a racist, sexist rhetoric. That's all it is. And the reason that you all demonize experts and push this anti-intellectual ideology is only so you don't have to pay attention to facts. So you can spew nonsense and then your audience won't even have the wherewithal to fact check you because you've made them deny facts. Your white mediocrity is no longer being placed on a pedestal and you're throwing a tantrum.
Guys, this is actually sad, and these people know when they do these things because this man has a very huge platform, but he's using it to push a narrative, to push this negative image onto black people, onto black women, that they do not qualify for these positions. They are just given a favor. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. For the longest time, guys, if you look into these people's lives, they've always been taken care of by black people since the times of slavery, since the time of day. For the 400 years or 500 years, they've been doing the horrible things onto black people. They've been taken care of by black people. Their children, guys, there's history books that are showing black women feeding their kids, black people caring for them when it comes to food, black people caring for them when it comes to their homes, taking care of them when it comes to everything in their lives. So why is it that now you want to double it down and be like, oh, when I see a black woman into medication, I can't take it, like I feel unsafe? Your ancestors, your people, even today, you are still using the labor of black people. Make it make sense. How can you trust a maid that cooks you food, that cares for your children in the house, but you draw a line when it comes to when you go to a hospital? What is the difference, guys? This is actual racism, and when we talk about these things, it's not even to be too much. I don't know what's the right word I can use. It's not to like push ourselves into racism, like we don't want to stop talking about it, but like these people know what they are doing. And they have to keep on pushing that narrative for them to like kind of feel safe and good about themselves. But when in reality, the people that have always been innovative and doing the most are people of color. People of color, black people, Asian people, these other groups of people have been the ones that have been innovative and giving knowledge to them people, to the palmed people. So it's really insidious, really seeing a white man come on here and trying to put black women down. Make it make sense. And I mean, it's more funny actually. Like I landed on a video where some white people that are like, wait a minute, guys, I've never felt safe than when I'm being worked on by a woman of color. Like they are very loving, caring, and they give me the best treatment than my own.
I really don't want to be canceled for this, but I do have to tell you that the best doctors I've ever had are women of color. And I can't be more specific than that, and I don't want to stereotype, but I do feel like I have enough experience now to where I can say the best doctors I've ever had in all areas, gynecologists, primary care, specifically gynecologists, but like all of them have been women of color, the best ones. And I'm not saying that the other doctors are bad at all, because I think that becoming a doctor is very difficult. I have so much respect for all doctors in general, but there is just something about a woman of color doctor that I really just have the best experience. If I have a bad experience at the doctor, it's never a woman of color. I'm gonna tell you that. And I wasn't even gonna say this publicly because...
So initially I didn't know how to take this, but I feel like as Black women, we're always on the defensive. When someone's actually giving you a compliment, we need to recognize it and take it. But on the flip side, it does suck that you have to be worried about being canceled for giving Black women a compliment. It should be okay to feel this way. But having to defend yourself on something that is your opinion is kind of sad, unfortunately. But seeing so many people comment on her posts of shared experiences who agree with her is really heartwarming, and it validates that this is a true narrative. Working in a white and male-dominated field is not easy. Yes, we are the minority, but we actually are the most sought out. My overall experience as a Black female doctor has generally been great, but sometimes that gets lost in the everyday challenges that we face and negative experiences that we have. So taking a step back and recognizing the good, the quality that we bring to the table and to our patients is actually really comforting. We are a rare breed, but we have the biggest impact. Women of color are unique. We are special. So thank you for recognizing that.
First assumption will be this person had to meet lower standards.
I'm Dr. Turner, a Black female surgeon in training, which I think makes me a little bit qualified to talk about this. First of all, medical school is not a participation trophy. It is actually quite literally survival of the fittest. Just because you get into med school does not mean you will finish med school. Every student, regardless of your race and your gender, is graded the same. So say, hey, maybe you do have a connection to get yourself into med school. Does that mean you'll finish? Does that mean you'll graduate with honors? Does that mean you'll get the residency you want? No. Our exams, our clinical evaluations, our board certifications are all standardized, meaning that the bar is not being lowered for anybody, especially Black women. If you don't pass, you don't move forward, and it's as simple as that. Let's take board exams, for example, the USMLE or the COMLEX. These are national exams where every single test taker is held to the same standard. There is no adjustment. It doesn't matter if you fail by 1 point if you're white. It doesn't matter if you fail by 1 point if you're Black. If you don't pass, you don't pass and you don't move forward. Black women make up less than 2% of all physicians in the US, and an even smaller percentage are surgeons. Not because we aren't qualified, but because of systemic barriers that make it harder for us to enter and advance into medicine. To even get to an even playing field, we always have to outperform. And once we're in, we train under the same rigorous standards as anybody else. To assume and say to millions of people that you assume anytime you see a Black female surgeon that the standards were lowered for her is such an incredibly dangerous rhetoric and an ignorant statement. So let's be clear. Every Black physician got here despite the system and not because it showed us any favors. And we will continue to do so.
If I have a Black female surgeon, my first assumption will be this person had to meet lower standards.
Yeah, that's because you're racist and sexist. You posted this on your own page. This is not some gotcha moment. You thought this was a good point, that the first thing that pops into your mind if a Black woman came in as your surgeon is that. You know what I would think if a Black woman came in as my surgeon, knowing that people like you exist? I would think I'm in good hands. And that's not virtue signaling. That's me knowing that we live in a world where she's probably had to deal with teachers like you, Tucker, and administrators just like you, Tucker, who have questioned her abilities every step of the way, and she has had to prove them wrong. She has had to go above and beyond, likely, her entire educational journey just to prove people like you wrong.
As always, I do appreciate really when I come across videos of PAM people calling out their own, because it really makes sense to me. We cannot just be like Black people talking about these things and they're just quiet. So seeing their people call them out is amazing to me. I love seeing it. But at the end of the day, it's just funny and ridiculous really seeing how white people cannot like stand it when other people are doing better than, you know, them. I mean, even for the longest time, we have been always the ones that have been doing better for the longest time. Like the only thing like PAM people are really good at is how barbaric they've been in history, how they, like taking credit from other groups of people, how they go and, invade other nations and want to control everything about those people, how they go and terrorize people. Like, that's their specialty. They are always giving out scholarships in other nations, especially African places and Asian places, just for them to have that knowledge of medicine, because they know we understand it better and they cannot survive without us. So seeing this man trying to put like black women down is just insane. It's insane. Oh wow, guys, that is it for me in the video. Let me know what you think about this. When you land on these kinds of people, like, I'm not even generalizing that they're the same, but when you land on one and they have this mentality, I promise you, don't waste your time, don't even argue, just move on. You don't even have to waste your breath. Like, they know what they are doing. Let's not give them excuses. They really know what they are doing, and we should just do what we do best, and that's winning. Guys, that is it from the video. Let me know what you think about this. Let no one be discouraged by these kinds of people, because they are just jealous. They are full of jealous, and it's kind of actually funny to see. Like, it really is. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit notification bell. I'm always posting. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.